Man, we done survived a whole lot. It's a redemption song. Still a work in progress. But we grateful every day. Got the DMV in the building. Woodrow in the house. But it is new breed. Now I'm striving for perfection. I see the misdirection. Don't let them take our blessings. Lord, I've been feeling kind of restless. Now I can't be reckless. Time to move the pieces on the chessboard. So many temptations. They caught up in the trade winds. I think about those days spent sitting in the state pen. The truth set me free like a runaway slave. And if they ever catch me, pull a pin out this grenade. Welcome to the stage, just the home of the braves. Flowing from the heart, I don't care who catch the wave. Remember those pains when we couldn't eat for days. Words cannot describe how we learned to survive. You'll be surprised and make you mask up and rock. It just the media tried, we was wrapped up in lies. Psychological war was an unstoppable force. And when you heard those gunshots, you know the drop to the floor. We survived everything that we see. Giving praises to Yah, that's the holy redeemer. Life has a meaning, everything has a season. Life has a meaning, everything has a season. We survived everything that we see. Giving praises to Yah, that's the holy redeemer. Life has a meaning, everything has a season. Life has its meaning, everything has a season. Heavenly Father, have blessed us like it's no tomorrow. That's probably because we living on time that's borrowed. Remember draining sorrows in this whiskey bottle, feeling empty, hollow, fighting these diablos. Remember the betrayal from the ones who had their eyes closed. Must forgive them though. Just a little side note. Seeing many fall, couldn't let that pride go. I want that Holy Spirit everywhere that I go. We ain't trying to be religious, gotta feel it. How we living, ain't no stunting in the pulpit, trying to be a gimmick. We ain't into the pretending, there's a vibe to it. Gotta keep a humble spirit or you might lose it. We can't see the world the way that Abba Yah views it. So before you cast your judgment, draw a line through it. Do some fine tuning, look up at the sky for it. Cause you ain't Christ, you ain't the one who died for it. We survived everything that we see. Giving praises to Yah, that's the holy redeemer. Life has a meaning, everything has a season. Life has a meaning, everything has a season. We survived everything that we see. Giving praises to Yah, that's the holy redeemer. Life has a meaning, everything has a season. Life has a meaning, everything has a season. Lord, you called me from the womb. I was my parents' firstborn. Still I was hard-headed. I was a prodigal son. And you were so patient. You let me have a little fun. Then you called me back to you. To where I belong. You know it hasn't been easy. It hasn't always been fun. Find me like gold in the fire. Had to be reborn. Do it all you can be. You never let me fall. Count my blessings, I've learned my lessons. Now I'm soldiering on. You already know. You already know. You already know. Yes, you know. Yes, you know. You already know. You already know. You already know. You know, you know, you know. Yeah. Man, my brother Woodrow was singing that joint, bro. You just don't get music like that no more, that you can feel in the heart. Now, outside of my room, y'all hear a vacuum cleaner. It's like the evening time, way past hours of cleaning up and all of that. But every time I go to DC, I have problems in these hotels out here. A lot of y'all not. It's nonstop. It's crazy. It's either something with the internet or just a bunch of noise out my door. I'm only here for one day though, so I'm going back tomorrow. I'm going back to Georgia tomorrow, but I'm here. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure y'all can hear it, but it's not that bad. But this is what we got going on. Matter of fact, hold on. Hold on. Let me check this. Hey, how you doing, sir? Hey, listen, I hate to interrupt your work, your job, but I'm streaming on a business conference. I'm streaming on a business conference right now. Live streaming on a business conference. Hey, this study, it's distracting outside of your. It's important. I appreciate it. You got you gotta love them. You gotta love them. You gotta love them, yo. Y'all know how it is, man. I don't even gotta say what it is, but y'all know what it is, bro. But we got some quiet, and we could do this, man. Handle our business, right? So this is called rude awakening. The rude awakening. And you know, a lot of times we get persecuted for this truth. For those who not in the know, you know, you got certain, what's the word? What's the word I want to use? There's certain powers in operation. A lot of time when progress is to be made. When you come into this walk of truth and you really begin to learn your identity and walk in that. Hold on, let me bring this back some. When you begin to really walk in your purpose and you doing what you're doing, there's certain powers that operate that tend to work against progress, and they tend to try to suppress our motion. And people don't even know sometimes that they're being used, but nonetheless they're being used. You understand? And it happens. Some people call it gang stalking. Some people call it organized mob. And some of you all may be new to this truth, and you may be experiencing certain things that you find weird, almost like you're being targeted or even watched in certain places. And you always kind of feel like um, things are a little bit more difficult for you, especially getting certain things done. Just practical, everyday things seem to be a little bit more difficult for those who God chose. And He made it that way for a reason. It's a way of keeping us out of our comfort zone so we don't never get too comfortable. The Most High doesn't want us to be too comfortable either, because He wants us to desire more for ourselves. He wants us to desire freedom, and particularly the children of the light, the children of Israel, um, God's people written of in the Bible. He wants us to build our own and desire to have that. Now we're comfortable mixed in with everybody else's hotels, airports, um, restaurants, clothing stores. If we're comfortable in these places, then you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we will never work towards getting out. So it's some people afforded with the ability to be uncomfortable and want more. And that's why the Most High allows that to happen as a reminder, like, hey, you got to have your own, because we should have our own hotels. And I'm talking about God's people and airports and everything else, right? But we count it all joy, man. We here to deliver the good news today, but we also here to blow the trumpet and sound the alarm. Um, Now I'm going to have to improvise because I'm having a lot of issues with my internet service. I'm going to have to improvise. So opposed for me actually holding up the phone to the laptop, I'll be holding up the laptop to the phone. So y'all bear with me, but I got some sources, and I want to show y'all certain things that's going on. Because listen, there's a lot of laws on the books, man. Election time is right around the corner, and there's going to be a lot of things changing. Um, I personally believe, and this is just a guess. This is a guess here. I personally believe that they will be putting a Republican back in office. Now, when this happens, there's a lot of people who are going to get a rude awakening, particularly a lot of modern women. Now, I don't want all women listening to this to be offended. When I say modern women, I do mean modern women. And what is a modern woman? A woman who is opposite of being traditional, meaning she believes that her independence is valued. Her independence is valued over the traditional relationships that we once had. Um,
a woman who pretty much embraces modern society and the way things are in this matriarchal, gynocentric type of society. The women who embrace how things are, where it's mostly women ruling, uh, and it's a lot of emasculation going on and things of that nature. They're going to have a rude awakening. Yo, I don't know if y'all remember this. It was about 10 months ago. Delaware rolled out some new stipulations on child support, right? Hold on, man. Come on, man. What are we talking about? Jesse Mathis, do we have a question? I don't like when people doing all caps, all these laughing emojis. What's going on? That's distracting. And you asking about lonely fans. What's going? Somebody time that person out. That was distracting. But I don't know if y'all remember Delaware. They rolled out some different stipulations on child support, where they were going to roll out um, basically putting child support on a debit card, where certain purchases can't be purchased. And all of these women, they were irate about that. Certain items they couldn't buy, like adult clothing. They couldn't take trips. They couldn't do certain things with C support. And I'm here to tell you, when these Republicans get in office, you can expect a lot more of that to roll out in different cities. Yeah, and you can expect a lot of people to have a rude awakening. You can expect certain laws to be put on the books because this is how this works. This is what the Babylonian system does. They allow people to have it up. They allow you to be as liberated and free as you want, and then they swing this thing like a pendulum, right? This is the way this happens, and then they give and then they take. They give and they take, push and they pull. So they allow you to get as liberated and uh, you know free as you want to be and abuse the system, and then they turn around and then they clamp down. And when they clamp down, things get serious. Things get real. So when they clamp down, a lot of ladies, you're gonna understand. A lot of women who abuse the system with C support are going to get penalized. There's going to be a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of ladies losing out a lot of income, and it's going to get desperate out here. It's going to be a lot of desperate times, and on top of that, something is very interesting happening where men are not marrying women anymore, and I mean from a legal standpoint. All right, meaning men are not going down to the courthouse. Men are not signing up to sign any contracts. Um, the idea, the percentages of C support have went down, and on top of that, men are not choosing to even deal with the civil court system, family court. They're just choosing. They're opting out. So where does this leave a lot of modern women who feel like they're liberated? Well, it leaves them unfortunately to fend for themselves. Um, And you would say that, well, women are doing a great job there, particularly urban women, right? When you look at it on the surface, you'll say, well, man, they got a lot of political positions of power. Um, there's so-called the most educated women in the world. They got the most degrees, but you're missing, I think you're missing the big picture. I think you're missing what is to come. Now, I got a couple sources I want to go to so I can show you exactly what's going on here and really break this down for you so you can understand that a lot of ladies are going to have a rude awakening. Not all women. Now, when I say a lot of ladies, listen, you don't necessarily have to have a husband, right? It is what it is. You living in those times. Maybe you just got a guy friend, or maybe you have family. You got older brothers and uncles and all of that, or maybe you're widowed. Maybe your husband passed away, or maybe you're elderly and you're not choosing to get married. I'm more so speaking pertaining to women who have a Babylonian mindset. Now, I oblige you to get yourself a husband and settle down and all of those things, but you're going to do what you want to do. But I'm really speaking to the women who feel like that they're just um, not to be not to be f with, for lack of better terms. They got their whole Meg the Stallion vibe. They feel like they're a widow and nobody can touch them. And when I say I'm a widow, they're a widow, I'm talking about the harlot, the Babylonian widow, right? They had this mindset of haughtiness and arrogance and superiority. And they have these personality disorders, and they're borderline narcissistic, and they're entitled, and they're spoiled, and they're misbehaved, and they're disrespectful. Y'all gonna have a very rude awakening. Oh, yeah. You sure are. For those who don't know, war is coming to America. War is already here, essentially, but there's more going on than what meets the eye. I can play this one audio. For those who don't know, not even 2 weeks ago, Iran, Iran actually threatened America on American soil. That's not no joke right there. And I know the scriptures say there'll be wars and rumors of wars, but you got to understand everything that's going on with this war overseas. Um, it's having a ripple effect, and a lot of countries are fed up with America. Now let's talk about this, right?
Invasion of Gaza getting delayed as Iran ramps up direct threats against America. Israeli troops and tanks briefly raiding northern Gaza.
Direct threats against America. Iran on U.S. soil, by the way.
Overnight as they prepare the battlefield before an expected full-blown ground invasion. Those developments come as Iran plays with fire. The Pentagon revealing Iran-backed proxies attacking U.S. troops in Iraq and Syria 16 times since October 17th. And the radical regime feels bold enough to issue this warning to the United States while at the UN.
I say frankly to the American.
At the UN. Listen to what listen to what they had to say boldly. Now, this is historical, and I don't think people understand how crazy this is right here. But listen.
UN.
I say frankly to the American statesmen who are now managing the genocide in Palestine that we do not welcome to expansion of the war in the region. But I warn, if the genocide in Gaza continues, they will not be spared from this fire.
Basically, they're saying, listen, if y'all want to get involved, if y'all want to help out over there like you've been doing, and the genocide continues over there in Gaza, then we ain't going to hesitate to blow y'all off the map either. You got to understand, it's a whole different type of war that would be fought this time. You got to understand that, because there's other countries involved as well that, listen, I know America has a strong military force and a military power, but when you look at BRICS, along with what's going on and all the atrocities that's going on across the world, from the I'm just going to call them the Roman Empire, the Greeks and the Draconians. When you look at what's going on and you're paying attention, you can feel that something is right around the corner. And there's a lot of people who hate America, bro. There's a lot of people who hate Americans with a passion. You understand?
Instead of directly dealing with the Iranian threat, the White House has other priorities. Kamala Harris is following Joe Biden's lead.
Of course, Kamala and Joe Biden, they got their head up their asses. They're not worried about threats. See, that's how America is. I sit as a widow that can be not touched. They don't worry about that stuff, because these people feel like they're going to be in bunkers. They're going to be digging up bunkers and living somewhere else anyway. Babylon is coming down. It's happening. It's happening gradually.
Lecturing Israel on a two-state solution.
We stand for the importance
of understanding that we must prioritize humanitarian values.
And her humanitarian values are libertism, going over there to different continents of Africa trying to make people gay or accept funding to be gay. She's so focused on that and following the lead of Joe Biden. You know, they're not even worried about direct threats to their country on their own soil. What is going on here?
That the rules of war require that there be no intentional attack of civilians, that humanitarian aid be administered, that we do all that we can to ensure that there will not be an escalation in particular.
No, we're not going to get too deep into the politics. We're not going to talk about what's going on over there because at the end of the day, we know the scriptures say when these people say safety, safety, there's war. Hold on, let me see. We know when they say safety, safety, we're helping this, we're helping that. We know what that means. That means war is soon to come. Biblically, we know that. They always coming in the auspices of being humanitarians, and then small villages and children and everybody else get blown off the map. But anyway, that's beside the point. What you got to understand is that all of this is going to cause a ripple effect in this country. More inflation, more austerity measures. These things are here. Now, we got to talk about what's going to happen in our everyday life because of this. Because while all this is happening, things are incrementally already changing. Now, ladies, I got to talk to y'all. Now, I'm only doing my part. I'm only putting my warnings out there. I'm only doing what the Most High commanded me to do. And that's as far as this goes, right? Hopefully you'll hear me out here. Now, I want to play this particular video of a woman who's 106 years old. And, you know, we don't respect our elders enough in this country. We don't listen to what they have to say. But this is an elder here speaking to a young lady. And I think it's interesting, this whole dialogue they had. And I'm going to have to hold this up for y'all.
When your 106-year-old grandmother
Hold on, no, why is that not popping up on the screen? I can hear it, but I don't see it. Hold on. One moment. There we go. Hopefully y'all can see this. When your 106-year-old grandmother clowns you for being 38 and single. I think this is important right here. Listen to this, y'all.
When your 106-year-old grandmother clowns you for being 38 and single.
I'm 38.
I've never been married. Huh? Have you ever been married?
Really, Nana?
38 years old.
Really?
I've never been married. No children or nothing. You sure missed a lot in life.
Why do I have to get married and have kids just to have a good life?
You don't go nowhere.
I do. I just got back from a trip.
By yourself, no man. If you don't have a man, you ain't nothing.
If you ain't got a man, you ain't nothing. She said you went on trips, but you was by yourself. You ain't had no man. She thinks it's funny. She thinks it's a funny moment, right? And grandma is really dropping some jewels and some nuggets. She's being brutally honest, right? And you got to understand that our survival is at hand when we have conversations like this. And a lot of women, the way their mind operates is real immature. They're like children. Like, there's nothing funny about that. Your life being wasted away. 38, no children. She will never have children. She will never experience the love of a child. And she would never, more than likely, never have a man either. Now, why is this so important? Let's just hone in for a second. And we're going to go back to this video because there's more to it. Let's hone in on the fact that women are traveling alone a lot. A lot. Or they're traveling with homegirls who probably are not really paying attention to the surroundings like that. I need you to peep game and get the likes up on the video. It's over 1,000 people in here. First 25 minutes, y'all watching. Like the video. I'll wait. Y'all know how y'all got to do it. Y'all went through a lot to stream. I went through a lot to stream, y'all. Y'all seen all of the little difficulties. Least y'all can do is pound the like button. I'm up here holding up. I'm improvising for y'all and everything. Right? Now, these women are traveling alone. Now, peep this. Now, why is that not showing the video? There we go. I want y'all to peep something about these hotels, right? About these hotels. For all you ladies who like traveling alone, right? And I'm going to show y'all some info that you may find a bit shocking, right?
Yeah, but inside this 3-star motel, this one really freaked me out up here by the front door. Not this. See the left one, bro. This one freaked me out. Right by the front door.
A trafficking. It's a trafficking tunnel. It's a trafficking tunnel. And it's in a lot of hotels. Yes. That's why I don't even really, it's really a lot of those in the high-end hotels too. A lot of them. Now, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot, and when I say a lot of footage of these tunnels in various high-end hotels. You wouldn't believe how hard the internet works to scrub this type of footage. You would not believe it. You just wouldn't believe it. So you got to understand, when foreign troops are in place, when things change, they won't be moving as conniving and meticulous. They'll be doing this in the open. They'll be snatching women in the open. In the open. That's what's coming to this country. Now, of course, if it's a woman under protection of the Most High, under the protection of the Almighty, a woman that's righteous. See, righteous women, they not worried about what I'm talking about. It's the 2/3 wicked women, the modern women who out here, just living their best life. They going on all these trips. Listen, you out here scantily clad. Y'all in these hotel rooms twerking for TikTok. Y'all doing all these things. They trace IP addresses. They know when you come into their hotel, the moment where you book your reservation, they know who's coming. They know your social media. They know all of it. They know exactly who you are. That's how this whole, if I can, man, I can really say some things today to y'all to really uncover the hotel industry and who runs it. And y'all would be like, wow, 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 wow. And I'm not going to get too far into that. The point I'm making is it's going to get real out here. It's going to get real. Now, let's go back to grandma dropping some jewels.
6-year-old grandmother clowns you for being 38 and single.
I'm 38.
I've never been married. Huh? Have you ever been married?
Really, Nana?
38 years old.
Really?
And I've never been married. No children or nothing. You sure missed a lot in life.
Why do I have to get married and have kids just to have a good life?
You don't go nowhere
I do. I just got back from a trip.
by yourself, no man. If you don't have a man, you ain't nothing.
Really?
She said, if you ain't got a man, you ain't nothing. Meaning you have no purpose. Your womb has not even brung forth children. Now, I do understand there's women out here who just can't have children. And I get that. Um, and that's an unfortunate situation. This is for women who just want to have fun, that just want to have trips and have fun and play around. Because better believe she might not have no children, but she been having sex. But you know, she haven't used her womb the right way. And grandma looking like, yo, you don't even have a purpose. See, they're in a different generation back then. If Sister Gloria or Sister Agnes or whatever was that age and never been married, never had children, they're gonna be looking at her like she playing on the other side. There's no doubt about that. They're gonna listen, they're gonna look at you funny at the community meetings and the gatherings, social function. They're gonna be like, don't go around Sister Agnes. She ain't never been married. She must be one of those, you know, those you know what's, those letters, right? That's how they would treat you different because of that. That's the kind of, she's 106. That's the kind of world that we were living in. This is abnormal for a woman to be that age and not, you know, settle down. It was just abnormal, right?
I'm not nothing without a man. Huh?
You're not a lesbian, are you?
She asked her straight up. See?
Still have sex.
I know you do, but that's right.
She said she still have sex. She said, I know you do, but that's not right. Damn. That made it even worse, ma'am. You should have kept that to yourself. So you just getting used and abused, pretty much.
That's dirty. Sleeping around like a...
When
Grandma kept it a buck. She said that's dirty, sleeping around like a... Not to mention the dangers that are coming in and the situations and scenarios you're putting yourself in. We got to talk about missing women. And we gotta really look at this. We got to look at this from a different perspective here. Because when the terror comes, when the war comes, it's going to get real. It's going to get real. I mean, you're going to have women selling their body just to get their next meal. That's how it's going to go down. Because you chose the Babylonian lifestyle, as Babylon declines and falls, it's going to drag you right down with it. You chose to go out here, have a good time. You drunk the wine of her fornication. You didn't want to play the traditional role as a wife or a woman. You didn't want to do that. You chose to have a good time, have fun, and choose this here society. So now when it falls, you got to fall with it. You got to fall with it. All of these women that they liberated are going to be, for lack of better terms, they're going to be somebody's slave. That's how this is going to go down. Whether it be foreign troops, it's just going to get bad out here. Now, there's an interesting documentary that came out last year. And we got to talk about this. It was called Black and Missing. It was an HBO special. And fair use. Federal law allows citizens to redistribute portions of copywritten material. Maybe I'll just play the audio, show you a couple of the visuals. I hold it up back and forth just so you can get an idea of what this documentary is about. And the statistics are rather alarming, to say the least.
1,000 girls and women reported missing in the U.S. in 2020 were Black. That is according to the National Crime Information Center.
Well, what? Hold on. The missing women were what? How many women? Statistical? What? Hold up. Let's go back again. Listen to this. Just listen.
300,000 girls and women reported missing in the U.S. in 2020 were Black.
In 2020, 300,000 women missing were Black. 300,000 women is a lot of women, y'all. A lot. A lot. Lost, never to be found.
That is according to the National Crime Information Center. And yet those cases often get little attention or are all but ignored by law enforcement and national news media.
Ignored by law enforcement and national media. Now, what do you think is going to happen when Chicago, DC, Philly, New York City take the police off the streets altogether? The purge is coming. What do you think is going to happen? All of that, you don't need no dude, you independent. Y'all hear them outside my door? Y'all hear them? But anyway, all of that haughtiness and arrogance and, all of those things. Just remember that. You don't need no dude. You don't need us. We dusties, we all of these things. Remember all of that. Just remember. Remember these things. Remember these words. Remember the male bashing, divesting content that y'all been brainwashing yourselves with. Just remember all those things. And remember the fact that the same men who are preparing safety, because the scriptures say, and the scriptures tell us, and y'all could pull that verse up for me. I'm kind of paraphrasing where it says, where there is no counsel, the multitude fall. Where there's no counsel, there's no safety. Where all the men of the Most High start really building and setting up paths and ways for our people to survive and sustain. But you chose the world. That's what you chose. Just remember, you cannot come back. When that window is closed, just remember, you chose your side. You chose to promote the 2/3 man. You chose to promote the whoremonger male. You chose to promote the drug dealer. You were chasing him around on tour buses. You were chasing those guys around, right? The drug dealer, you thought they was popping. You thought that was hot. You chose Satan. So when Satan's system starts to fall, just remember what choices you made. Just remember that. Yeah, you rather been groupies instead of seeking, your soul salvation. Instead of using spiritual discernment to find out which directions to really go. For all the God-fearing brothers that's out there, you made your choice. And those guys not going to protect you. Matter of fact, those guys are going to be doing you worse than anybody. It's going to be the thugs and the goons in your own community. Where ain't no police presence there. It's going to be them that's going to be ravaging households. Matter of fact, the scriptures tell you this, by the way. Let me go there. Matter of fact, the scriptures do tell us this in 2 Timothy 3:6. It says, for of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts. You see it? Read them and weep. See that? You see that? 2 Timothy 3:6. That's who's going to be Pookie and Ray Ray. That's who's going to be creeping in your houses, leading y'all captive. They're going to lead y'all captive. They're going to be selling y'all to the highest bidders. Some of y'all women going to get sold to the highest bidders by the same dudes that's in these rap videos. The same dudes with the flags. Trust me, it's going to happen this way. And it says, what type of women? Silly women, because you're silly. You listening to Sexy Reds and Sukianas out here and you're being brainwashed. And you believe in what they're telling you. You think you're in power and you don't even know that this whole thing has been a setup from the beginning. It says, for of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with diverse lust. Ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of truth. We're talking about you ladies always learning. What do they mean by that? You always getting these degrees. You're always seeking to be independent. You always learning the ways of the world. Y'all ladies know how to do a lot of things on your own, but you never come into the knowledge of the truth. You're always learning, but you never come into knowledge of truth. What I'm doing right now is I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. Anointed by the Most High God to give you the truth. I was anointed to give you the truth, even when I don't want to. I have to. But hey, you do with it what you will. Let's go back to the documentary.
Now, a 4-part documentary series on HBO follows the lives of 2 women working to bring awareness to these cases. Amna Nawaz has the story.
The new series tells the story of Natalie and Derica Wilson, co-founders of the Black and Missing Foundation. The sisters-in-law rally communities and help families as they search for their missing loved ones. Here now is a clip featuring Derica Wilson.
Being a former law enforcement official, I've dealt firsthand with missing person cases. Back in 2002, I ended up getting hired on with the City of Falls Church Police Department as the first African-American female police officer.
So she knows firsthand that when y'all end up missing, when a melanated woman end up missing, they're not looking for you. The police aren't looking for you. Do you understand that? Do you know if and when the purge begins, no police is going to be looking for nobody. See, men can protect themselves. Men can protect themselves. And here's a news flash. A lot of brothers is not going to let you women sojourn with them. It's a lot of brothers who want to look out for themselves. I'm telling you right now, the way this world is going, they're going to remember how y'all women acted. They're going to remember how nasty, vile, mean, and disrespectful y'all were. They're going to remember that at every turn of us brothers trying to rise up, brothers are going to remember how y'all gave us resistance at every turn, how combative y'all were, how just narcissistic and just haughty. Brothers are going to remember that when all hell hits the fan. And you know what? While things are happening, women getting violated in the streets, brothers is not going to do anything, bro. I'm telling you right now. So not only the police not looking for you, the police not looking for you, brothers is not fitting to help you. Brothers is going to look out for themselves. They're going to drive right by. They're going to see you with your red wigs and your long fingernails, and they're going to ride right by you. That's what's going to happen. I'm just here to tell you the truth. I'm not saying that's what I'm going to do, because I'm going to be somewhere of my own. I'm going to be on my own land, living right, and with sojourning with the people who's supposed to be there. But if you can look at what's going on in society, this is how this is going to end up. This is how it's going to end up. Somebody said Ecclesiastes 7:26. Post that scripture up for him. Post it up for him. Let's go.
Officer in the history of the agency. My goal and aspiration initially was to work for the FBI and get into forensics. I spent 6 months in the police academy, and we dedicated, like an hour or two to missing person cases. I actually had a case where there was a young lady, and I didn't realize that she was missing.
Only an hour or two in their training. In her training, they only spent an hour or two in her training when it come to missing persons.
Until I was able to recover her. We received a call, and I was the primary officer responding to that call.
And this is back in 2020.
A domestic violence situation in progress. As I'm driving to the scene, I noticed 2 people walking really fast, and it just looked out of the ordinary. She had bite marks all over her body.
We don't need that. Let's go.
Desk.
Black and Missing, and she joins me now. Soledad, welcome to the news hour. And Soledad O'Brien is the executive producer of Black and Missing, and she joins me now. Soledad, welcome to the news hour. Thank you so much for making the time. Tell us a little bit more about these 2 women, Natalie and Derica.
Now, what's so alarming about this is we had 300,000 missing women in 2020. I'm going to pull up the data. How many missing Black women since then? Let's get the data, because I don't want you to think for a second that that was just some anomaly that took place, right? I want you to know that this is something that's gradually getting worse, and is to the point where it's reaching a boiling point to the degree of they can't manage it anyway. So let's just let the purge begin. Let lawlessness abound. This is pretty much what the world is coming to. Um, Missing Black women 2023. Let's see. Man, you got let me see here. We had one from Revolt. You know, and these statistics, they like to hide them too, but give me one moment. I'm gonna pull this up. The scary truth, alarming rates. Revolt did a whole article on this. Man, okay, so in 2022, they say it's 100,000. So it's varying from year to year. It's varying from year to year. That's what it looks like. It's not giving me direct. I'm gonna have to actually read it because everything is not being reported. But I think y'all get the gist. One missing woman is too many. Two missing women is too many. And we talking about 100,000, 300,000, 200,000, 50,000, 60, 70,000. That's crazy. Those numbers are astronomical, ladies and gentlemen. I wish I had some concrete stuff on here where I can give y'all a definite number, but Google doesn't have much. You see, New York, Amsterdam news. Yeah, they're just giving different numbers and different. Every site or every source has a different number, but that's beside the point. Let's get back to the video. And if you can, ladies and gentlemen, pound the like button. Let's get this video spread because we're here to promote awareness. And we're here to give a lot of you a rude awakening because it's coming. One day you're going to look out your window and you're going to realize that you've made some bad decisions in life, that you chose the wrong side, right? You're going to figure that out real soon. I give it a few years.
Wilson, why did you choose to center the story around them and their work?
We started this documentary
And by the way, that is genocide. Let's go.
process about 3 years ago because we found the work that they were doing just fascinating. We were hearing from Derica talking about being in law enforcement and trying to use her.
And you know what's crazy now that I'm playing this on here? The internet is working just fine on there. But that's crazy. Y'all know I had to reboot and everything. I don't know. Let's go.
Expertise to help families who have missing loved ones who can't figure out how to break through the barrier of disinterest in a lot of cases where no one seems to actually really care.
Because nobody cares. Nobody cares. See, they gave you the degrees, they gave you all these things to give you a false sense of security. And, you know, you got to understand, we are a nation of people. So-called black people, you're the children of Israel that the Bible speaks of. Yes, you're God's chosen people, put in captivity for our disobedience to the Most High. And the other nations came to us and said, listen, let us cut them off from being a nation. They came together in crafty council, say, look, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel would no longer even be in remembrance. They don't even want you in remembrance. So missing women, missing children, you know, out of their community, you know, they don't care. And y'all ladies got to really be paying attention because it'd be other nations be doing a lot of the snatching. And since y'all don't have a man there to pay attention to your surroundings, some of these guys, they pulling up in vans. They look like construction workers. They look like maintenance men. They look like city workers. They look like they work for the electric company, and they be watching y'all. They be knowing they be knowing your Instagram and all that. Listen, when we talk about gang stalking and organized mobbing, urban women are the biggest targets for organized mobbing in the entire world. Do you realize this? Do you understand that the other nations, they be watching? The foreigners be watching y'all. And y'all are the biggest target. Why? Because you're vulnerable. You're easy to get to. A lot of y'all more concerned with having your nose in a cell phone than anything. You're not even paying attention. You're not even observing. You're on TikTok all day. You're easy target. You only care about vanity, eyelashes, and material stuff. You're easy target. And you have isolated and insulated yourself from your man. So, and they get on social media and see the division between man and woman and the powers that be. Somebody loves it. Somebody loves to tear us apart. Somebody loves it. Why? To leave y'all ladies vulnerable. Why? Because you're a hot commodity. You're a hot stock. Your organs, you're the original woman. Through the melanated woman's womb, all nations of the earth were created. Of course, it started through our seed, but y'all are the progenitors of every nationality in the world. That means your organs have value. Your womb has value. It's like y'all don't be valuing yourselves. You don't value yourselves, but when it comes to science, research, development, organs, vitality, come on now. That melanin be popping. And they be using y'all's DNA to cure different diseases. And y'all don't even understand that these rich elitists be gunning for the melanated woman. So it will behoove him and be in his best interest to pull the police off of. Don't get them. We got them somewhere else. We dealing with them. Who is allowing police to just fall back on y'all when y'all missing? There's somebody operating in high positions of power. Y'all's blood, your DNA, all of that is very valuable. But hey, y'all don't need no ninja. Y'all don't need nothing. All you need is your degree. And now when everything hit the fan, brothers not letting you in their house, especially you women who've been out here selling that tail. You've been on the damn OnlyFans. You've been on these different sites and different things going on. Brothers is not bringing y'all in their houses. All right, I'm just keeping it a buck with y'all. You better clean up your act now and give your life over to Christ now and get your mind right. Because if you've been out here for the streets and every Tom, Dick, and Harry done seen you online and you've been selling your body to the highest bidder, and there's a disaster happening in the country, brothers ain't gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna wipe them up now. Y'all remember a couple of years ago, Sukiana, she said something very interesting. When before that whole Umar Johnson fiasco took off, she said, I'm gonna wait a few years and get me an Israelite man. Y'all remember she said that? Y'all remember Sukiana said that? Oh, in a couple of years, I'm gonna get my mind right. I'm gonna marry me an Israelite. You know why? Because Israelite men are resourceful. Israelite men are paying attention to the times. Israelite men have discernment and know what's happening in the future. Why? Because we read the Bible and we study it, right? But here's the thing. We don't want Sukiana. We don't want no woman like that. We don't want no woman that's wicked, a Jezebel out here for the streets. And fellas, this is how all these women be thinking. They all be thinking they got time. They all be thinking we gonna get out here, we gonna do whatever the hell we want. And then, as soon as I'm ready to stop giving myself to Pookie and Ray Ray into the streets, then I'm gonna get me an Israelite man and be secure. You got another thing coming. Brothers ain't going for that. I can't go for that. No can do. I can't go for that. Can't go for that. No, that's not happening. Do you understand that you for the streets and you're going to stay for the streets. And brothers is not lining up to protect y'all either. We're not doing it. Why? How can we protect somebody that we can't even speak to? How can we protect somebody who has malice and contempt and disrespect towards us? Y'all don't respect us. Y'all have no respect towards us. Y'all don't greet brothers. Listen, the melanated woman don't even be greeting melanated men, bro. And when these foreign troops and sleeper cells and agents and perps and gang stalkers get to snatching y'all off the streets, y'all expect us to step in and protect y'all? Hell no. If it's a woman, brothers, I'm telling y'all, they don't have no manners towards us. Let me make this clear, brothers. If a woman ain't on your program and she not with you and she not gravitating towards you, listen, you are not obligated to step up and protect nobody. Right now, I'm protecting by just warning them. And that's the least I'm going to do is warn you. Yeah, they look at us like a bag, look at us, like all we are is a bag. We in a time right now where these women are basically saying, y'all can't even take us out. We want you to send us it's some girl going viral talking about she want a $500 cash app so you can take her out. Just so you can take her out. This is the type of treatment you brothers is getting. But they're about to have a rude awakening. And if you watching and you fit in these categories, then you probably pissed off right now. You probably mad, but that's okay. I don't care. I'm telling you the truth, right? If you're a woman who is more so leaning towards traditional values, you don't have no reason to be upset. But anyway, let's go.
Enough about the person who's missing that they go the extra mile or maybe just go the basic mile.
They don't care. You see that? See that young lady right there? They don't care about her being missing. They don't care. Why? You don't have blonde hair and blue eyes. No disrespect. No disrespect to my Gentile brothers and sisters, but y'all have a leg up when it comes to that. Our women or our people in general, the police ain't got no love for us. And they're not spending extra hours looking for us. You may have very rare cases where an officer may go above and beyond in certain isolated situations. But when they see this face come across their desk, they're not spending much time trying to find this young lady. They don't care. They don't care. You need to wake up.
To make sure that there is a missing persons flyer, that it's circulated in areas outside of just that one jurisdiction.
They don't care about spreading it outside of different areas. If they wanted to find you, they would find you. They wanted to find these missing women, they'll find them. We live in a technological society. We got camera phones. We got cameras everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We got GPS systems in our cars built in. Like literally, come on now. They can zoom down with a satellite and zoom down and see the hair on the legs of a roach from space. And you think they can't find a missing woman? Are you kidding me? Listen, they've been conducting genocide on our people for years. Come on now.
For Natalie, who's had a background in public relations, she was interested in leveraging what she does in her day job in PR to helping families learn how to navigate the system. How do you make a media that does not seem to very often care about women of color who are missing?
They don't care about women of color who are missing because there's powers at work. There's gang stalking programs at work. There's different agencies at work. There's different scientists at work. Political powers at work. And since a lot of our women have isolated and insulated themselves, they're easy targets. This is just a fact.
And make them care. Sometimes that's...
You're not going to make them care. You're not going to make them care. Listen, ladies, listen. You need to come back to your men. the warriors. You need to come back to the standing army. Y'all remember back in the 60s, in the 70s, y'all was standing right by brothers. Had your afros right with your brother like this. I am a revolutionary. I'm black and I'm proud. Y'all was right with your brothers. Now look. Now look. Y'all was more safe back then. You wasn't having, listen, 300, imagine the time of the Panthers, 300 women, black women being missing, not even 300,000. Just think the Black Panthers was here in that time. Think about just 300 black women missing. What kind of hell would have broke loose? How many protests would have went on? Why? Because everybody was together. Somebody said Panthers still around, but Panthers have been, they're not at the same capacity. We know that. Somebody said Panthers still around. Come on now. We know that because of COINTELPRO, the Panthers are just a shadow of what they used to be. Everybody knows that. Let's not argue semantics here. The bottom line is, during the height of the Panthers, when we had Huey P. and all of these other brothers, it wasn't, you didn't nearly have as many missing women. You know why? It was neighborhood watch going on too. This is what's going on, man. And you know, here, instead of our women saying, look, y'all need to turn back to y'all brothers and do something, they're trying to plead with the system. Please care about us. Please care about us. We ran all y'all banks. We took all the bank teller jobs. We was the nurses in y'all hospitals. We did everything for y'all. Please, 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 Mr. White Man, please protect us. We even pushed our men out of the community. We took your government assistance. We took everything. Please protect us. When our daughters are missing, could you please find them? Please find them. That's the tactic you want to take. That's the way y'all want to go about this. Maybe I'm just talking crazy. Maybe I'm not making sense. But this is the same country that turned their back on the soldiers that fought for them. This is the same country who the soldiers that risked their lives over there, who got limbs blown apart, coming back with PTSD and all kind of ailments and mental problems. This is the same country that just slapped them people in homes, ain't give them nothing. All they get is a gift card at Denny's. A lot of the soldiers are homeless. So you think if they would do that to a Caucasian man, they would do that to it. They done it to all of them. What the hell you think they're gonna do with you black women? You are disposable.
It's about the information you give, the press conference you give, how do you address people on the phone, who do you reach out to? All of that she can help. And so the two of them get together to use their skills to help communities that are, and the data shows this.
So out of 300, so let me get this right. Out of 300,000 missing black women in 2020, all we got is 2 melanated women. All we get is a documentary and 2 women that's in the agency trying to figure out what's going on. We got 2 sisters that's in the police force that care, and a documentary.
It's very clearly communities that are very often ignored by media, by law enforcement, and sometimes by their own community when they go.
You damn right, by your own community. You hear that? They said by the media don't care, law enforcement don't care, and your own community don't care. Why? Because you turned against your own community. How could your own community, you know what they mean by their own community? They talking about brothers. Brothers ain't out here like dude from Taken. Brothers ain't doing that, arming up, talk about I have some trades and skills I learned to track people down. Brothers ain't doing that for women who don't even Respect them. So when they say even their own community, they talking about us. Keisha from 2B is missing. I know who y'all are. I have a set of skills to trace you down. Not happening. Why? Because Keisha from 2B mean mugged brothers all day, walked by them, couldn't even say good morning. Women get mad when you say, hey, good morning, how you doing? She rolled her eyes. Now Keisha ass is missing. Now what? What a brother supposed to do? Oh, Keisha missing? You mean a woman that rolled her eyes at me every day? Good luck. I hope they find her.
Shows this very clearly. Communities that are very often ignored by media, by law enforcement, and sometimes by their own community when they go missing to help. Even
their own community. And if you think we ignoring y'all now, I think y'all got considerably worse in the last 3 years. If we were ignoring y'all being missing now, what do you think brothers gonna do in the future?
Them get a leg up.
This issue of the media.
Not to mention the 2/3 men who are going to be leading y'all captive. The 2/3 men who are going to be violating, coming in the houses and taking whatever they want. You can't leave them out. You can't leave the thugs out. Those weird, creepy dudes that be out there at the gas station watching y'all women like predators, looking at y'all like cattle, looking at y'all like y'all a deer in the woods, and they looking at you like a gazelle. You gotta look out for that, man. The melanated woman got it bad, bro. They got it bad. They gotta look out for him. They gotta look out for the foreigners. They gotta look out for the internet stalkers that can pop up. I advise you give yourself to the Lord. I advise you get right with the Most High, and you pray and you get repentance for living your hot girl summers. And you say to yourself, Lord, I'm going to make a change in my life. I'm going to give me a righteous man of Yah to lead me out of this, because it's getting crazy out here in this society. But you know what? Hey, let me slow my roll. It sounds good, but it just ain't going to happen with a lot of them because they're under the delusion. They just feel the system's on their side, right? No matter how much info comes out to show you that the system ain't on none of our side, y'all still believe the Western world on y'all side.
Not care and not paying as much attention as it does to other stories. There's a phrase many of us have heard, missing white women syndrome, which the late, great Gwen Ifill is believed to have first used. And it basically means in our industry that, you know, the stories of missing white women often get a lot of attention.
You're damn right. They're going to find their women. They're going to find their women because this is their system. How dare you just be snatching their women off the streets in their system? Nobody snatches their women out but them. That's how it works. Nobody comes in a community and takes their women but them. If they want to dispose of Kimberly, because Kimberly didn't cross the line or Kimberly done broke the oath, if they want to dispose of her and hide it and cover it up, they're gonna do it. That's how they do it. And don't get it twisted too, because they brutal to theirs. Don't get it twisted. If one of their women ain't right, she bound to get Jeffrey Dahmer out here, and you will never hear about it. Or they'll send her to a mental institution. They'll be like, Kimberly, some of these rich, powerful dudes, they will pack Kimberly up and ship her out in a heartbeat. You will never see her again. And nobody will talk about it either, because what's understood don't need to be explained. That's how they handle business in their community. That's why a lot of them don't hop out of line. Because there's some stuff that goes on that side too. But anyway.
And the media tends to stay with those stories in a way that they do not with the stories of missing Black women or Indigenous women or Latinas.
Yep.
that they do not with the stories of missing Black women or Indigenous women or Latinas. Gwen Ifill said that back in 2004.
Y'all hear the door slamming out there.
Why is this still a problem today?
Yeah, because I don't think anybody has really thought about, well, why do we not care? Is it that people in media are cold and callous and don't care about the stories? I don't believe that's true. I think there's a lot of bias involved. And missing white woman syndrome.
They don't care.
Yeah, because I don't think anybody has.
The media tends to stay with those stories in a way that they do not with the stories of missing Black women or Indigenous women or Latinas. Gwen Ifill said that back in 2004. Why is this still a problem today?
Yeah, because I don't think anybody has really thought about, well, why do we not care? Is it that people in media are cold and callous and don't care about the stories? I don't believe that's true. I think there's a lot of bias involved. And missing white woman syndrome, as Gwen called it, and penned it originally, I guess, also
Somebody in the chat says it's called judgment. I'm gonna have to agree with that.
includes the wall-to-wall coverage that actually gets communities up in arms to the point where you have people flying themselves to Aruba to help look for Natalie Holloway. So it's not even just the media. It's
exactly. But our sister got brutally beat in Mexico. And we're talking about the sister who lost her life a couple years ago. Oh man, don't let her name slip my mind, Lord. The lady who got beat by her friends in Mexico. Now they flew to Aruba to find a missing white woman. But our sister who was beat by her own friends publicly, pretty much, man, there was no justice for her. Shanquella Robinson, business owner. Man, how does Shanquella know that? That name can't never slip my mind, bro. But you had Shanquella Robinson, who was over there brutally beat by her own friends. And listen, ladies, it be your friends too. It be your friends. See, here's a whole nother part of the game that you don't understand. Ladies, it be other women setting y'all up for the kill too. It be other women that'll sell you into these trafficking agencies. The women you trust. Family, friends, all of them. But it was no justice for Shanquella. This is this world you living in. When I say we all we got, I mean we all we got.
This idea of like, why do people as a whole just not care? In our documentary, we profile.
People don't care because melanated women, urban women have been dehumanized. The public representation of a melanated woman is horrible. They're non-desirables. Everywhere around the world, every man looks at a melanated woman as some type of sex slave. He looks at her as something that's just to be used leisurely. And it's her fault because that's how she made herself. That's how she propositioned herself. When you get online, all you see is her body hanging out. Every woman is exposed trying to get attention from men, and they just become objects. Through the disobedience, the land has failed to hoard them. The women have failed to hoard them, and they looked at as objects. So it's no respect. They twerking every damn where. They got an attitude. They're loud. They're cantankerous. They're all the things. They're masculine as well. So the world is not going to care about y'all when y'all missing. Listen, you can't have your cake and eat it too. It doesn't work like that. You women cannot have your cake and eat it too. Now, what do I mean by that? You can't enjoy the perks of this society in such a way of being sexually liberated and then expect people to care about y'all. It's not going to work. You can't expect the world to care about y'all if you don't care about yourselves. If you showing yourself scantily clad everywhere, if you are known as being obnoxious, loud, overbearing, disrespectful, if that's what you're known for publicly, when y'all go missing, nobody gives a damn. Do your lady BWs, let me explain something. Let me explain something to y'all. Let me break this down to y'all. Y'all are obnoxious. In every sense of the word, y'all are overconfident. You don't have any humility. You're obnoxious. You come off in such a way where a lot of people are repulsed by y'all all over the world. You're problematic. I'm just telling you the truth. And I'm telling you the mind frame of why these people are not looking for you. Why they don't care when it's 300,000 of you all missing. This is why. It's your public image. And then there's nobody to really step up. And as a woman, there's no women stepping up. I'm stepping up as a brother, but there's nobody stepping up as a woman tearing down this behavior. There's no women who are outraged. And so they're like, okay, they're not even defending themselves. Matter of fact, y'all be entertained by the reality shows. Y'all throwing glasses and cups at each other, seeming like y'all don't even have conflict resolution, sounding like wild banshees and arguing and fighting. None of you women are stepping up. And then the only woman who they allow to have a voice, who steps up and says some real stuff, is Candace Owens. But Candace Owens is not respected, not accepted by the Black community because she's not even married within her own nation, although she says some real stuff. And also Candace Owens, she's paid by whatever political party is paying her, whatever lobbyist wants to push a certain narrative, they're dealing with Candace Owens. So it's inorganic in a sense. And I do like Candace Owens' content. I do like what she be saying, but it's still inorganic nonetheless. You don't have any real grassroots. There's no grassroots melanated women who are just fed up with being publicly misrepresented. They're not there. They're just not there. Now, not to dispute some of the efforts of some of the sisters that do the work. If you do the work, don't get offended. Not to dispute their efforts, but we need more, y'all.
A young woman, a beautiful young woman who's Black, who goes missing, and then a couple of weeks later, Natalie Holloway goes missing, and her aunt describes what it's like to watch the attention that Natalie Holloway. I covered the Natalie Holloway case. What a horrific story for her mom to go on newscast after newscast to beg for information about her daughter. But at the same time, the aunt who's looking for her niece is saying, why does no one care about my niece? And she's reaching out to these news organizations.
What was your niece doing on Instagram? Who was your niece inboxing? Who was your niece talking to? How did this happen? If you expecting this system to care, they just not.
She's a TV producer. She has some wherewithal about how to navigate. She can't get any attention. And so I think it's about, why do we care about some people and why do we not care about others? I personally believe it's a lot of bias. I know when I've done documentaries, that focus on people of color, Black in America, Latino in America, I've been told, listen, don't make it too Black. Make sure that you don't push away the audience we really care about.
Don't make it too Black. Don't push away the audience we really care about. Interesting.
Which is to say the white audience. So I think there's often a sense of, our audience is this is a person who's appealing, attractive, interesting to me as a producer. And, and therefore that's what should get the focus.
Yeah, well, because, white women and women of other nations, they're not going overseas and getting locked up for booting up against men. They're not going overseas, basing up at men and getting incarcerated. So, hey, there's a difference between y'all and them. It's a difference.
Focus versus thinking about what are the communities that you serve.
Y'all keep listening to Meg Thee Stallion and Sexy Red. They're going to get you. They're going to F y'all whole life up. If you listening to these women and believing that that's how you should really behave like them, and just be out here with your head, nose pointed all up in the air like you just Queen of Sheba, and you just feel like your ish don't stink and you can have an attitude and be sassy with everybody. Let me explain this to you. They're going to ruin your entire life. I'm telling you some real talk.
and how do you serve those communities? In our doc, we talked to a former news president who says, race is not a factor. That is just not true. That is just absolutely not true. The data does not hold that up. And so
exactly, the data don't lie, the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. Straight up, she shouldn't even have to defend her stance on this. The numbers don't lie. She made the documentary because she wanted to bring some awareness to it. And I support the documentary only because it should make you women wake up. But hey, you ain't gonna wake up until you have that rude awakening. You ain't gonna wake up until it's martial law and there's foreign troops all around your community. When your whole community is compassed with armies and you don't know what the hell to do next and you don't know what's going on. And who you gonna turn to? Now, if you're a woman out here who have family and you got a covering, it is what it is. Because brothers is not dealing with that, man. Proverbs 21:19 says it's better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman. Let me say this again. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than deal with a contentious and angry woman. Brothers is going to lead. Let me tell y'all something. The attitude. Let me tell you something. You think if we had to escape, if we had to escape America, let's say we had to escape, not just, schedule a ticket or whatever. No, we had to escape. And brothers was like, yo, we're going to hit these routes. Hey, man, we're going to link up with the homeless because they know all the underground tunnels. They know all of the systems. Let me tell you something. Homeless people, they know how to survive, bro. They know what manhole to go down, get through the city. Do you think we're going to be getting, I don't give a damn how big your booty is, how good your BBL looking. I don't care if you got your lips, breasts, your eyelashes on fleek. I don't care if your weave on fleek. I don't care what happened. If something was to happen like that, do you think brothers is going to compromise the escape mission when y'all asses is a flight risk? When we try to help y'all gonna cause all kind of damn problems. Where y'all gonna be down there fighting each other. Y'all gonna be down there fighting each other, jealous of the next woman. Hell no. We already gotta run from too much. That's why it says it's better to dwell in the wilderness. Brothers is not dealing with y'all combative, angry, disrespectful women, bro. When we already got to fight everything. We got to fight this whole world. Now, don't we got to deal with y'all's attitude? Hell no, we're going to leave you. Have your way. We just trying to get out of here and secure our families. They're going to be trying to stream on TikTok while we trying to escape. They're going to be making TikTok shorts while we trying to get up out of here. Proverbs 27:15, a continual dropping in a rainy day and a contentious woman are alike. A continual dropping in a rainy day and a contentious woman are alike. Proverbs 21:15. You think we want to be ducking bombs and escaping and then deal with that? Y'all gonna be having y'all locations on. When them wigs get wet, when them wigs and them weaves get wet, and we down there trying to swim our way through the tunneling system and make our way out, it's gonna be smelling like chihuahuas and wet puppies, and like, come on, bro. We not finna do that with y'all. Y'all ain't gonna be able to climb up the ladders to get out because y'all nails too damn long. We're not doing that. And I know I'm being facetious, but for real, y'all need to change y'all minds. Y'all need to wake up and start paying attention to something a little bit more than the materialism and the vanity and the nonsense y'all be into. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's like the world got you right where they want you. All these women getting snatched up out the hood, snatched up out the streets. And y'all just totally oblivious. Y'all still in the matrix. You still concerned about nonsense. That's crazy. Proverbs 11:22. As a jewel of a gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman without discretion. Like I said, we don't give a damn how good you look. If you ain't got no discretion, you can't rock with real brothers when everything hit the fan. As a jewel of gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman without discretion. If you ain't got no discretion, we ain't looking your direction. I repeat, if you ain't got no discretion, we're not looking your direction. So what that means is if some men is ravishing y'all, but you out here with your cakes out, we're not going to help you. Now it'd be different if it was a little woman walking and she got her coverings on, her body covered up, she's dressed modestly, and these vultures and Pookie and Ray Ray is jumping on her. Then we gonna help. It's like, yo, what is you doing? If we crossing paths to something like that, it's like, hold up now, champ, what's going on here? And we squad deep. Nah. But if you out here showing your entire body, you out here like what? No. The Most High said you like a jewel in a swine's snout. You may look good, but guess what? No discretion. That's the sign of a wicked woman. Proverbs 5:6. Lest thou shouldest ponder the path of life. Her ways are movable. Thou canst not know them. Meaning you don't even know which direction this woman going. Her ways are movable. You cannot know what's on the mind of these wicked women. They compromise, fellas. A lot of them have too many soul ties. They've been in this dating culture. They're sporadic, irrational, and you don't know what they're flight risk. That's the point I'm trying to make. A lot of them are flight risk. A lot of them would jeopardize the whole mission, bro. You'll be surprised at how many women follow brothers around of truth just to try to compromise and jeopardize the whole mission. They're followed, and brothers, you got to watch out for this, because a lot of you brothers are leaders, not even realizing that there's women out here who will follow you only to destroy you. They're like plants. Why? Because they got different spirits and demons operating in them. They got different demons from different men latched onto them, and they got Satan all in their DNA, and they trying to tear down the men of the Most High. That's why ain't nobody coming around me who ain't supposed to be around me. Proverbs 30 and wickedness. See, when all this hit the fan, these women gonna say they ain't do nothing wrong. They're gonna convince themselves that they wasn't evil towards you brothers. They're gonna convince themselves that they ain't do nothing wrong. I ain't do nothing wrong. Help me, save me, protect me. They're gonna eat it and wipe up their mouth and say they have done no wrong. Let me tell you something. I'm just gonna be straight up with you. You're not gonna be able to cry a river. The sympathy's not gonna work. I don't care if it's tears, snot bubbles, all of that stuff coming out your mouth and nose and all of that. You are not going to be able to get brothers to come to your rescue. It's not happening. They're not doing it. Men already are not marrying y'all. They're not. Listen, let me tell you, you're living in a time where men have truly adapted to the time we living in. The crocodile tears ain't gonna work. Every brother listening to me knows I'm telling them the truth. Every brother listening knows that when everything hit the fan, it don't look too good for the modern woman. It don't look too good. And every brother's gonna remember how y'all are. How y'all make these brothers feel like they don't even exist. Let me tell you something. I've been to different countries. I've been to Africa. I've been various places. When we travel abroad, and even in the Middle Eastern countries, when there's a man present, the women thereof acknowledge you. You know why? Because it's just respect. America has a way, this Babylonian spirit has a way of making men feel less than men, making men feel like they don't even exist. They don't even get the respect of a greeting. It's almost like you can be a king, meaning the Most High ordained you a prophet, a bishop, a teacher, a king, and you can be in the midst of Babylon and feel like you're nothing. They have a way of doing that here in this feminist society. So with all that being said, these women who embrace this, when everything happens, brothers are going to move accordingly. Brothers are going to move accordingly. They're going to be like, oh, okay, now you want help. Don't do it. Brothers, don't even let these women back in your lives that see you elevating now, even on a personal level. Some of you brothers going to have a lot of women try to come back in your lives that don't belong there. Straight up. And y'all know YouTube playing with the numbers because it was almost 1,700 people in here and they bump them out. For those who don't know, on my channel right here, they make sure I don't get a certain amount of views on videos. When I can break the mold and it's one of those videos that's really getting up there and it starts rising, they just knock people out. It happens like clockwork. So hit the like button on the video. They're going to have a rude awakening. Listen to this scripture. This is a powerful one right here. Hold on, let me pull this up. Where is that at? Yeah, they knocking people out. It's all good though. I ain't tripping. That's how I go. Man, there was one scripture that I seen. Oh, there it goes. Psalms 49:5. Thanks for y'all patience. Psalms 49:5. Wherefore should I fear in the days of evil, when the iniquity of my hills shall compass me about? That's the rude awakening. Wherefore should I fear in the days of evil, where the iniquity of my hills shall compass me about? That's going to be the judgment, where all their iniquity is going to compass them round about. That goes for everybody, man. We got to get ourselves together, man, and seek better for ourselves, right? And look, my views and likes were matching just now, but you know they still gonna be knocking people out. Look, I love each and every one of y'all. That's my cue. They playing around, trying to knock hundreds and hundreds of people out simultaneously. Y'all know what it is. Subscribe, like, share. It is what it is, brothers and sisters. We got more content coming, so turn the post notification bell on so you can get these videos as they're being uploaded. All right. And that's just what it is, man. Look, y'all gonna have a rude awakening. Now, if for the record, if this video offended y'all ladies or whatever, you modern women, if it offended you, just do better. Just do better. Anyway, I love y'all. With that being said, shalom and peace.